Hello, instructors. This is a follow-on video. So once you have set up the meetings, the virtual Zoom meetings, what you can actually do inside them and how to access them as the instructor and as the virtual meeting host. So let's get started. First, we're back in the section from last fall where I'm doing this example, and you can go ahead and click on Zoom. This will show you the meetings that you created. And here, what's going to end up happening is you can start the meeting. You can also go here and click on this link. This is the actual Zoom link here. That's the URL for it. So we can click on that as well. But let's go ahead and go back and go to, I called it the testing the virtual room for today. So we're going to go ahead and start this. What's going to end up happening is the very first time you start a Zoom meeting from within your Canvas course, it's going to ask you to do a single sign-on. So there's going to be an additional screen that's going to pop up asking you to sign in with your FIU credentials. This is normal. Don't worry. Just do it. Hit OK. Once you do that, you will see this open up where it's going to say Open Zoom. And then you'll see here, I have, there's my big face, the students will already have the link from the class. So as you can see here, I have two participants waiting. Remember, we set up originally that waiting room for students so they wouldn't just automatically get kicked out if you weren't there yet. So you can actually see the waiting room and you can see who's in it, right? Before we get there though, the first time that you do this, you're going to want to, you can see that I have a headset with a microphone. You can also just use, the speaker and the microphone, whatever you have integrated into your system if you want to test it the very first time. You can see, do you hear a ringtone? For me, the speaker is in my headset, so this drop down is accurate for me. I hear it, so I say yes, and I can hear myself talking. And so I said yes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and join with computer audio. Okay, so now we know everything is looking good with the audio and the visual. You can see yourself. So now 2 people are waiting here. Again, if you click on Manage Participants, you can see who the people are who are waiting, and you can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and admit Alexa and also admit, hello Alexa, Emily. You can see that Emily has chosen not to use her video screen. It's nice when they do, but they do not have to. And Alexa has chosen to, so you can see her. You can also see here this little red microphone with a slash through it, that she is muted. If you want to have students unmute themselves, you can also unmute them if you want to hear what they have to say. The other thing you can also do is if you go on the bottom, you will see a number of options here. This is all being recorded because remember when we set up the Zoom sessions that it's the automatic recording. So once you log in and you start it, whether or not the students are actually there, it is recording you. So when you're eating your Snickers or whatever, just be mindful of the chewing or because that's going to get recorded. So anyway, so you can invite participants here. You can send them an email through the invite link, but all the students should already have the link. It's going to be in the Canvas course, and all they have to do is literally click on it and wait for you to admit them in the room. So you can go ahead and, so how to interact with them. All right, so once you've admitted them, you can chat with them. So if I'm clicking here under More and Chat. All right, so this is from Alexa to everyone. So she's saying, hello, everyone. In this little drop down here, you can actually see, you can respond to everybody in the meeting. You can respond to Alexa or Emily privately, although because this is being recorded, like the whole screen is being recorded, I would maybe advise against that because then everyone can see what you're talking about. So in this case, just stick with the messages to everybody. And but you can see Alexa has sent me a private message because it says privately right there. Okay. So what are the other things that you can do as you're going over the different concepts, different things in your course, talking to your students? You're going to see a lot of windows like you see up here with your students, okay? So if you can change the way things look. So up here on the right hand side, there's full screen, which blows it up to to include your entire screen. There's also the gallery view. So this puts everyone's picture proportionally beside each other. So our areas of interest that surround our face are all the same size. And for a larger class, this might be a nice idea. So let's see what else. We can do the chatting. I can also share my screen. So say I have a PowerPoint that I want to share. It's good to have the PowerPoint up and queued, like I did not. But okay, so say I want to share a PowerPoint with everybody. So what I can do is once I've opened my PowerPoint, I go ahead and I say share my screen. So then it will pop up all the applications that you have open, and you select your PowerPoint here, and then on the bottom right, it says share. So now everybody can share. We still have everyone's video up if they've chosen to use the video feed, and you can walk through your PowerPoint just like you normally would. And this is one of my PowerPoints that I teach, and talk about it. Now, the nice thing about this is that if you go ahead and you can see a black bar on the top when you're sharing, and if you go to Manage Participants, what you'll see here is, let me move these things around. What you will see here when you click on Manage Participants, this will pop up all the participants in your virtual classroom. And you can, now I am the host, so there's certain things that if somebody wanted to, if a student wanted to raise their hand, Emily, can you raise your hand, please? So if somebody has a question, let's see, Emily, can you, oh, Alexa raised her hand. Thank you very much. So you can see Alexa has raised her hand in there, and she has that option because she is not a host or a co-host. Thank you, Emily. Emily also raised her hand, so you can stop when you see that and answer the question. So if we want to go to, you also have, when someone responds or says something, you can give them hopefully not too many thumbs down. You can give them a thumbs up. You can give them a, good job, clap. If someone, is really super tired and they just need a break, they can click on the little coffee, or someone needs to step away for a moment, they can put that icon right there as well. So what I would like is I am going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing this PowerPoint. So up at the top, as the host, you will see stop share. So then it reverts back to this particular screen where you can see everyone. And what I would like to do is I am going to make Alexa a host. Excuse me. So say we had the students look up some articles relevant to the topic in the class, and we want them to discuss certain reflection questions. So I can say, okay, now I would like Alexa to go ahead and discuss that, and I would like her to show us the article. So then what I can do is I can go to Alexa here, and I can unmute her if she forgets to unmute herself. And then I can also, under more, I can make her the host. So I'm going to go ahead and and I can take that back at any time, so don't worry, but I'm going to make her the host. So do I want to change the host to Alexa? Yes, I do. So you'll see now on my screen, and I'm going to mute myself. There we go. You can see now on my screen that because I am not the host anymore. Oh, yeah, I am not the host anymore. Oh, okay.
You're muted.
There we go. Now I'm not muted. See, everyone makes mistakes. But you can see now, because I'm not the host anymore, that one of my options is I can raise my hand. So just remember that when you make a student a host, they can't raise their hand anymore. So that's one of the functions that disappears when you're a host or you're not a host. So I'm going to mute myself and let Alexa take over a little bit here. And so she has now shared her screen with us.
You're muted again.
Muted again. She has now shared her screen with us. And you can see things that she's presenting. You see how she unmuted herself and she contributed to the conversation. So it can really be a nice ebb and flow of a discussion. One of the other things that you can do is you can, if I say, "Oh, that's really amazing, Alexa. I want to really draw your attention to something that's on her screen," right? I can go ahead and I can, under the view options on the very top that you can see here in this video, I can request remote control. So what that means is it doesn't mean that nothing is being violated, no FERPA laws. I don't have access to her computer. The only thing I have access to is what she is sharing with me. So I can go ahead and send her that request to take over. And then you can see a pop up on the top that says you can control Alexa's screen. So now that's me moving things around. So I can take a look at the module. I can go home. So you can take remote control, or if you have a more hands-on course, for example, like a computer science course or something that requires a little of looking over the student's shoulder and showing them things, you can do this. And it's a fabulous tool. And then everybody in the class can see what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to view options and give up that remote control. Okay, so now I'm just viewing her screen, but I don't have control anymore. And then I can go ahead and unshare, or she can unshare actually. There we go. Thank you. So she can unshare it because she's the host. So if you want to take back that control, I can go here, go to Alexa, and I can reclaim that hosting from her by going right here and reclaim host. Okay, so it says I am the host now. Terrific. So those are some of the basic ways that you can interact. You can chat, you can show them things, you can share your screen with your students, you can have discussions, you can mute certain people, you can mute everybody else, have them share their screen with you. The other thing you can do that's kind of neat is at the bottom here, you can see polls. So you can actually create a poll. And I'm going to go ahead and ask a question. A new screen will pop up, which you'll be able to see in this tutorial. So they're not going to be able, my students aren't going to be able to see this until I create it. So I'm going to call this test poll. I'm going to make it anonymous. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to have it single choice instead of, well, no, I'm going to have multiple choice. I'm going to be fancy. So let's see, answer one. Super cool, cool, not so cool, totally silly. Okay, so then I'm going to save. Let's see. And then I'm going to, once I save it, I go back to my Zoom window and you can see, you can launch the poll. So you see the poll that you made, go ahead and launch it. So now the test poll, now they can see it. And let's see what Emily thinks. All right, wonderful. Everybody thinks it's super cool. Yay for us. Okay, so you can do little polls like this, and it's a nice. Let's go ahead and X out of that. It's a nice way of being interactive with your students and getting their take on things. So this is a very basic way that you can interact with your students, but it does have some really nice functionality. And remember, you as the instructor are the touch point for your students. They really want to see you. They really want to continue interacting with you. You are part of their FIU safety net. And remember, you are the FIU and FIU resource for them as the instructor of this course. So it's not just the content, it's not just the class itself, but it's also you. So make sure and take advantage of this tool. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns. And when you're done with your Zoom session, you want to make sure, don't just leave, because this is all being recorded and you want that to, if you just leave, it'll just evaporate and go out into cyberspace. So what you want to do is, I'm going to say thank you to my participants. You want to go ahead and you want to end the meeting. And what you're going to do is, if you want, you can see the options here. Um, to keep the meeting running, like say you're done with the class, but you want the students to continue using the room for a discussion if they need a virtual space. You can leave the meeting, but you need to assign someone as the host before you do that. Or if you're done, if you hang out for questions, everybody leaves the meeting and you're the last one, you can say end meeting for all. And then it's always going to ask you, how was your meeting experience? And then it is going to go away. What's going to then happen? What's going to then happen is you are going to get a message, an email message, in about anywhere from 1 minute to 15 minutes, and there will be in your classroom your Canvas shell. You can go to Zoom, and what's going to happen is you're going to go to cloud recordings, and you can see that, well, I've done this a couple of times, but you're going to see, okay, March 12th, um, this is where those meetings are recorded. So this is a great tool, and I really hope you take advantage of it. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.